we go. Thanks for the reminder, guys. All right, here we are.
All right. So here we are again, another week. I got to tell you, I've actually really been enjoying just being able to connect with all of you, every single campaign, although it seems like we've been almost meeting every single week these days because there's a lot going on in the business. So, again, just thanks all of you for joining, showing up for your business like you always do. And I think with that, let's go ahead and kick this off. All right. So taking a look at, the agenda, Kelly, I don't know if you have some updates for campaign 21, but definitely kind of just how many of you were able to take a look at the A-list this morning? Would love to hear some of your thoughts in the chat. We'll do a quick run through on programs and incentives. As we all know, we still have campaigns 27 and 28. We've got Destination Avon Cancun. I think we've got some updates surrounding that if you haven't been imbibed yet already. The continued new representative allocation, Avon Next, Blast through 2022. We're going to touch a little bit on advertising, and then we'll close it up with a call to action.
All right. So we'll just start with a quick update of campaign 21. It's just going to be kind of a generalization, if you will. So for starters, it was a really incredible campaign, our best campaign in terms of overall sales volume since campaign 14, and one of our best of the year. I will tell you this though, in terms of the components that make up the sales results, it was kind of a mixed bag because for example, our rep count, it remained flat. I will say we've had, I think, 4 consecutive campaigns of representative count growth. So to kind of take a step back, it's not a surprise that happens. Attrition happens, right? But it wasn't really a loss. It was more of staying flat. But as you know, kind of a key to success is our staff, if you will, our rep count and our orders. And so the rep count piece, there wasn't growth. So that's something that we want to try to contribute to in campaign 22. Another indicator that was not where we would have liked it to be were orders. We were down on orders, and just to kind of drill down into it, we were down about 3,000 orders to prior campaign. It's a lot. It's a lot, especially considering the seasonality of the year. This is definitely a time of year where we would generally be increasing our orders. So when we really kind of dig into the loss in orders versus prior campaign, what we learned was about 2,000 of the 3,000 order variants that we had came from our contender base. They came from our personal shopper pool of representatives. So that says to me a couple of things. First of all, it says that your top sellers, your people who are in the non-contender buckets, even your new representatives, they're more consistently ordering you. They're doing what they always do, kind of making sure that they have that regular Avon campaign order. But our personal shoppers, it's a challenge for. And so as you're thinking ahead to how you position yourself for campaign 22 and how you communicate with your team, maybe how you're marketing to them, how you're segmenting, really look at your contenders, look at your personal shoppers, and consider what's that one have to have item that in campaign 21 people can't live without, and how do you market to them so that they don't miss the opportunity? Or how do you leverage the new Blast Through 2022 incentive to make them want to place their order, or the Avon Next opportunity? There are so many great programs right now that you can leverage to garner some of those orders, but I think that if we can rebound from that piece, the thing is that our average order size right now is through the roof. That was the indicator that really just kind of set campaign 21 on fire. So imagine getting those orders up and keeping that average order size on fire like it's been. It could mean astronomical sales for the business. And clearly what that would mean to your leadership checks would be incredible, right? So what else in terms of campaign 21? We only had nationally, we only had 2 title advancements. I'll say I'm disappointed by this because we kind of had been ramping up our title movement. And I personally believe that the new representative allocation program primes us for advancement. And I know we're still kind of just getting our feet under ourselves with that program. And we're going to talk more about it here shortly. But I do hope that we can continue to leverage that, especially now with the addition of that program with the new way to earn Cancun. So I'd like to see more title movement, but I will say this. We measure our titles at risk every campaign. That is our collective pool of title leaders and what percentage of them are at risk not performing. And our title at risk improved by about 5% this campaign. So that is showing that we're moving in the right direction as it relates to you guys achieving your achievement title. You're not just performing, I should say, at your achievement title. So what I'd love to see us do now is now that we've kind of are stabilized there, it's that growth, that next title that we're really seeking. So it's kind of in a nutshell, our results for campaign 21. I think Bob McCoy is on. Bob, you're our numbers guy. Did I miss anything there? Is he on? Robert, I see you. That's okay. I think I covered it. That was all of our core KPIs. Okay.
You did.
Thanks, Shannon. Okay, so let's take a look then at a quick review of the A-list. Shall I, Shannon? You can go through our programs and I'll do this.
Yeah, but I mean, I think we even have our VIP with us today, right?
Oh, who better to give a review on the A-list? Is
Right?
Lynn Huber on?
She is.
I'm going to stop sharing so we can see each other.
Where
Lynn,
you at, Lynn?
our little superstar. So a great A-list today. For those of you guys who are on, a really fun holiday demo. I don't know about you guys, but I'm visual. So I think it was awesome to see the products that Adriana had the opportunity to show. As I was watching that, I was imagining you guys taking those demos to your customers' homes and showing them the exact same way that she did virtually, or getting on an Avon Live, exactly how Lynn Huber recommended to do the same thing to sell to your online customers. But a really, really great view from the field. I loved the sound bites that Adriana gave about all the holiday products, especially the holiday home products.
Look like that one.
But Lynn, you were certainly the star of the show.
Yeah.
So tell us about your experience and any of your kind of, core things that you want to review with the group, kind of in a nutshell from your time on the A-list today.
I think the biggest thing really is take advantage of breast cancer. I mean, obviously we want to find a cure for breast cancer, but I mean, it also can help you in your business, because if you use that and the ability to set up a table outside of a store, like stores like Walmart typically won't let you set up in front of them. But if you go talk to them and say, I would like to do something for breast cancer awareness, they will, or even restaurants. A lot of times too, a restaurant will say, you know what, not only will I let you set up outside my restaurant, I'll give whatever, 10% of all of our sales while you're here towards your cause. And so you can collect names, you do a little drawing, do drawing slips, or do a virtual drawing, collect names, because that's really the most important thing, is collecting names. Even when I do trade shows, I typically don't sell a lot of products. I work on collecting names, because while you're selling something and ringing somebody up, 20 prospects are walking by. So I typically look for names and contact. And then of course I get home, I put them in my follow-up list. I send them a text, here's our digital brochure, or whatever it is that they wanted, right? And that's how you're going to build your holiday sales. You're going to get in front of more and more people, and those events are going to allow you to do that.
Lynn, I just really loved how you talked about a lot of fundamental things. I mean, you gave a lot of ideas, but what I really loved about it is that for basically every idea you gave a traditional component of how you do it as you're out and about. What did you say? Showing and growing. And then you gave a digital component to it as well. And I loved that balance of things in the way that you're kind of using one to supplement the other. That was really, really great.
Well, thank you. We build our business from every angle, and everybody should be. If you're in it to make money, if you're in it to grow a business, you want to get in front of as many people as you can, whether that's in person or virtually, and yeah. And the cool thing about the internet, it gives you more ways to reach more people.
Yeah. Well, well done for sure. And again, if you guys haven't viewed the A list, of course, it's available for replay on avon.com. And don't forget, all of our A list replays have that share option so that you can easily share it with your team so that you can ensure that they have the opportunity to catch the replay as well. So that's our little update on the A
Thank
list
you for your
review.
kind words, by the way.
It was fun. It's always fun to watch you guys. Y'all are the best part of the show. For sure. So Shannon, I'm going to turn it over to you now.
All right, go ahead and go to the next slide.
Okay.
All right. So just a quick review. So a lot of this we know, but look, it never hurts to kind of review, right? And look, as we're kind of going through this, I would really love for all of you to, think about, are there additional ways that you can, does everybody on your team, are they aware of the updates? Do they understand what these additional campaigns and new incentives in Cancun mean to them? So as we already know, campaign 27 and 28 has been added to this year. The campaign calendar is already created. You can download that right from avon.com. And then really just making sure everyone understands that 27 and 28 is for this year only. So as we roll into 2023, we will kick off campaign 1 starting on January 4th, and then we will have our regular 26 campaigns in the year. For Cancun specifically, I think we all know that it is actually 2 additional campaigns. So I think that's my favorite part, although it's not 2 additional campaigns for all of the other incentives, it is 2 additional campaigns for Cancun. So we know, look, President's Recognition Program, Premier Level, Diamond Club and Concierge, Pinnacle, Blast through 2022 incentives. So look, Summer Blast has been extended and revamped into Blast through 2022. So let's make sure nobody misses out on that because it is still containing the 3 components, right? So we've got the extra 5% on new representative earnings. We have the extra 10% for premier representatives. And we also still have the bundle opportunities for all representatives. And then probably one of my favorite programs is the new representative allocation program. I think by far that is my favorite because I think that is the one thing that can make a difference in your business, not only right now, but going into the next year. And if leveraged properly, this could do many, many great things for you and your business. And again, we've still got Avon Next in play. And I think, look, I think Avon Next is an important one, especially, as we hear Kelly kind of break down some of the results for us where we saw a little bit of a decrease in activity with our contender representatives. And here's the thing, that is the pool that is one of the pools that Avon Next is, servicing, I guess I'm just going to say. So, so be thinking about, is there anything more or different that you can do to really get Avon Next out there and show what a benefit it is to your representatives so that they not only save some money on free shipping, we are moving into the time of the year where maybe somebody may want to be a little more consistent in placing their orders. Okay. And then as always, we continue to have the new representative first order gift with purchase program and the $10 credit in their second order. So and it looks like Kelly's just kind of sharing in there that Avon Next is for contenders and premier where they're getting that free shipping. And so, I think it's worth just repeating again, only because, just yesterday, I spoke with a leader who thought it was something different. So just making sure we're all on the same page. Avon Next, it's like an every other campaign kind of a thing. You earn it in one campaign, then you're going to receive the code to utilize in the next campaign. But then in that third campaign, you've got to earn it again. So you earn it again and then you use it. So it seems that we have many representatives who still kind of think that they're earning a free ship coupon every single campaign, and that's not the case. It's every other campaign. You earn it, you use it. You earn another one, you use it. Okay. All right. So with that, and then in regards to the new representative, Kelly wants to move the slide and I keep thinking of stuff, but I hear the reporting is out on Vibe already this morning for the new representative allocate, not the new rep allocation program, the new Cancun.
The
So
sprints, yes.
yeah,
Your
the sprint.
reporting
So,
is available. Yep.
which
Shannon's getting
makes
ahead
me
of
really
ourselves. So here
happy
we
because
go.
yeah, we didn't think we were going to have it for a few more weeks. So, you know, look, the Avon gods were probably listening to all of us that we really needed that reporting. So be sure to check that out. So, you know, you can come up with a, you know, an action plan to start reaching out to some of your representatives. All right. Let's go, Kelly, because I'm on a roll. I have way too much coffee today. So we know we have had 2 extra campaigns for Cancun. You know, so look, I think really what, you know, I want to maybe just share on this one is, you know, this last week and a half, one of the things that I've learned, it really is the importance to look at every single way. We've got to look at the original way. I want you to look at the new sprint ways. I want you to look at the 50 recruits because I am already finding in a lot of the one-on-ones that I've been conducting is it's something different for everybody. I've got some leaders who are finding that the original way is better that for them. I'm finding that other people, the sprint is going to work out. And for some, neither of them are going to work out. So they're going to have to go after the recruiting. So really taking a look at all ways. However, if your way is going to be the personal sales journey, then go for that. But if you're a leader, I would really also say, please leverage the new representative allocation program on that side so that you're not leaving anything on the table. Get everything that you can get this year.
Yeah, but let's talk about the different ways to earn, because of course, to Shannon's point, you have 2 extra campaigns. So for those of you who've been having a good campaign or a good year, and you've been going for that original way to earn, that extra 2 campaigns, as you kind of spread your goal across more time, it's really a game changer. But if you had really high goals because maybe you went to Hawaii last year, maybe last year was a stellar year, it's been harder this year, then to Shannon's point, really understanding the sprint opportunity is the way for you to go. And so kind of in a nutshell, you have this new Cancun sprint to earn the trip for your personal, through your personal sales achievements by, in the time frame, campaigns 19 to 28, increasing your personal sales on average per campaign by $700 versus what your averages were from campaigns 1 to 18. So understanding what your averages were, and again, your report and your tracker will help you know what that goal is, and you're taking the average. So let me make this up. Let's say that in campaigns 1 through 18, your average was $1,000 a campaign. So that means in campaigns 19 through 28, it's $1,000 per campaign plus that extra $1,700. So on average, your new goal becomes $1,700. So it's essentially an extra $7,000 in campaigns 19 through 28 versus whatever those trends were from 1 to 18. And then if for a new representative, it's just a minimum cumulative sales of that same $7,000 threshold. So for anybody who joins new, and if you think about it, since we started allocations in 19, and that's when we're kind of backlogging this incentive to run through, you guys have brought aboard a lot of new people. And so all of those new representatives have this sprint opportunity to earn when they have those cumulative sales of $7,000 within that sprint time frame. So I don't know if there are any questions about that in the chat, Shannon, or if you have anything extra to add there.
I'm not seeing any questions, but I do want to add, I want to add one
it.
piece, especially for the new representative piece, only because this came up yesterday. And I know that a lot of the verbiage is saying, minimum cumulative sales, 7,000 for new representatives who joined in 19 through 28. I realize it says who joined in 19 through 28. But there are other circumstances, right? I mean, you could literally have an LOA 14 new representative, right? I mean, I think some of us would still consider somebody LOA 14 new representative. And, maybe they didn't have the sales in those campaigns. So guess what their goal is still going to be between campaign 19 to 28? It's still going to be around the 7,000. So, there was a lot of discussion around that verbiage yesterday. And so I would just encourage you, if you have newer representatives, get in there and look at the number, because in a lot of cases, it's still the same $7,000 goal.
Yeah, that's a good call out, Shannon. A new representative may have accumulated, I'm making it up, $300. And so essentially her goal might be about $7,300.
Exactly.
So, but again, you
Exactly.
guys have the reporting for that now. I'm so happy that you have that, so that it takes the guesswork out of it. And Shannon's absolutely right, especially for the established representatives on your team. Make sure that you really identify the new goal versus the old goal, so that you can create plans based on whatever is that easier way to get there. And then keep in mind that you have the old way to earn through leadership. That hasn't changed. You have those trip for two capabilities through the old way as well. And then you have this earning through your team building. I am personally super excited about this, only because I've seen the national reporting, and I've seen that so many of you guys since campaign 19 and since we launched the new representative allocation have already banked a lot of qualified recruits. And so I feel like you kind of got a head start. For those of you who didn't, clearly there's still a lot of time, and we're about to show you a video that's going to kind of lay out the possibilities of making this happen for you. But essentially it's like this: same time frame, campaigns 19 through 28. Is it just me? Is it weird to say campaign 28? It's so weird to say campaign 28. Okay, but I love it. Campaigns 19 through 28. When you convert 50 new team members to a qualifying order of $100 or more, and their full first or second campaigns, these are people in your G1, when you convert them to that $100 order, they're qualified. And when you get 50 of them, you're earning your trip to Cancun. And now these can be a combination of qualified personal recruits or company allocated recruits. It's a combination of both. Of course, the more personal you get qualified, the more allocated you'll be given. But that combination of 50 helps you to get your way to Cancun through building your team. And so I know Shannon does not want me to do this, but I'm about to share a video with you. And I want you to see a picture of the possibilities here. So here we go.
Hi, everyone. My name is Shannon Lucero, and I am one of the account executives here at Avon. I'm excited to spend a few moments with you talking about how our allocation program is going to help you get to Cancun. So as you may know, our allocation program is open to all of our bronze ambassadors and above. Now, if you're not a bronze ambassador yet, and you're curious about becoming a bronze ambassador so that you can also take advantage of this plan, go straight to avon.com and you can find all of the details there. So with that, let's get into this. So as you know, right now, we learned the other day that we have all the way through campaign 28 to earn Cancun. And so coupled with our allocation program, I want to break down a step-by-step plan that you may be able to leverage and execute so that you earn your spot on the beach. So if we look at every single campaign, if you were to activate one new representative into the business every single campaign, all the way through campaign 28, you will have added an additional 7 new representatives to your team. Now, we know, because of allocations, for every one person that you activated in the business with their $100 order, Avon is going to award you up to 5 more new representatives
for every new person that you bring into the business. So out of those 5, let's just say that you are able to convert and activate 3 of those to become new representatives with their $100 order. Now, if you do that, 3 new representatives every single campaign, that is now going to give you an additional 21 new representatives added to your team. So we also know that it doesn't stop there. The allocations keep on going. So when you begin converting the company sourced appointments that we are awarding you, for every one that you convert to the qualifying order, Avon is going to award you an additional 2. So if we look at the example that we have here with 3, if you converted 3 of those, Avon is going to award you up to 6 more. So let's just say out of those 6, you end up converting 4 of those to becoming new representatives at the same time. So now let's do the math. So if you convert those 4 every single campaign, guess what? Now we are adding an additional 28. So look at these numbers already. So you will have received a 7 plus 21 plus 28, now giving you some growth of 56 new representatives being added to your team. We won't even talk about what that does for your business, but what we will talk about is because you brought on those 56, guess what you have? You now have the 50 new representatives that you need to get to Cancun in March. So with that, I'm going to leave you with that. I hope you get to planning. I hope you love this plan, and I hope to see you in Cancun.
So Shannon used the word "so" 31 times in that video. I know you're petrified that I shared that, but if you weren't aware, Shannon kind of went rogue and did a video like this on Facebook, and it started to go viral. And so Steve asked her against her will to do that. And I think it's amazing because I really feel like it shows the possibilities of this. And Shannon was even being very reserved in the numbers, because as we know, that when you do this, you can grow exponentially, because you could qualify everybody. Realistically, maybe you won't, but the exponential possibilities are tremendous. And again, you guys already had so many banked when we announced this the other day. And so you kind of had this head start, and you've got a lot of time. But I do think that the personal recruiting piece will be key. But with all that said, Shannon, I'm just picking on you. You only said so 30 times, not 31.
You're funny. So yeah, look, I always have something to say. So just a few things. For me, this is about, this is kind of like, how many of you remember the good old napkin presentation? Can you break down whatever it is that you're offering in a way that other people can understand, 30, 60 seconds? I know that was probably more than 30, 60 seconds, but I just, I had kind of felt like, were we really grasping? Because if you tell somebody 50 recruits, and I'm assuming 50% of you on this call, we say 50 recruits, and you're like, can't do 50 recruits. But when we break it down and we really look at it for what it is and the opportunity that we have on the table, I think we start to see that for a little bit of effort, you're going to get a bigger return, and then you're going to be sitting on the beach. But a few other things, I just wanted to make sure that, I say a couple of the details that I was thinking about. So as we take a look at the conversion, so from our last call, remember, even I was, we only had 2 campaigns to convert Cancun people to their order of $100. And then we found out, no, it's going to work just like the allocation program. So all of your Cancun 50, you've got 3 campaigns to get the $100 order in the campaign. So that's the first thing. Just want to make sure everybody knows that it is aligned. The other thing I just want to, make sure we're all thinking about as we look at these sprint ways and even the recruiting for the 50 recruits, remember, these are trip for ones. Okay. So it's just important to remember that everybody's connecting the dots, because if you want a trip for two, then you want to be finding two paths. Are you going to do the 50 recruits and then you'll do personal sales in the sprint and or the original plan? But, be thinking ahead. And I think the most important thing all of us can do right now is know your number, figure out what path is going to be most beneficial to you, and make a decision. Make a decision on how you are going to achieve this. Okay, get the intentionality behind it so that you can have a plan put in place so that you nail this. And then one of the things I heard yesterday, Kelly, I don't know if you brought this up already, but as we get down to campaign 28, so say for instance, you get allocations in campaign 28, they have to convert in campaign 28. So that would probably be one instance where you're not going to have the 3 campaigns. You'll want to get those converted in C28 if you want them to count. Okay. Do we have any questions?
Yeah, there were a couple of questions, Shannon. So first, Mary had a question about reporting for the 50 new team members. And Mary, I don't think that there's going to be a separate report because you have that new representative allocation report. And on that, you'll be able to track both yours and your team members' allocations because it tracks their qualified new recruits. So you'll be able to see the combination of either their personal and or their company sourced, so that you can make sure that as they're tracking towards the 50 and or you're tracking towards the 50, you'll be able to keep your eye on that. So
right. Well, and keep in mind, once a representative is a promoter, then they have access to Vibe. So then they would have access to the, to what, well, they wouldn't be participating really in the allocation program, but on the recruiting side, they would have access to that.
And then Faye had a reporting question as well. It's a good one. Do all reps have somewhere to look for their new goal? Faye, my understanding is this. It was most important for us to get your team's collective goals first. And so that happened today. Check. The next step is adding to everybody's dashboard their individual new sprint goals, which will correlate in the reporting. They'll have their old way to earn goals, and then they'll be able to see their new way to earn goals. So that will be a part of the widget on the dashboard tracking for all representatives. I'm assuming next week is my understanding, Shannon.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. But, I think that brings up the question, as leaders, now you have access to the reporting. What, is there some urgency? What steps can you take to get some of these goals out to your downline members? Is it a text? Is it an email? Is it some phone calls? Can you identify who your high potentials are? Sort the list, who are the people that need a $1,000 order a campaign, right? Is there anything that you can do to get people moving now? Because I am of the opinion that we can't wait. We can't lose another you don't want to lose another campaign. Some of these sales goals are some hefty sales goals. And so the faster we jump on this, the better it's going to be for everybody involved.
Yep, absolutely. Absolutely. Time's going by fast, and that's very scary, actually. All right, so to kind of transition, and I think it's a natural transition to not to go through the program, but one of the portions essentially of this new way to earn Cancun is basically this new representative allocation. And so we saw, like we mentioned earlier when we looked at results, record-breaking numbers of additions by you when we launched this program in 19. And then in 20, we had the second highest additions ever. 19 was the highest, 20 was the second highest. In 20, we did see additions drop off some, but we are sure that we're just getting our feet under this program and that you guys are going to continue to leverage this through success especially now that you have this Cancun component. So just want to kind of keep this in front of you. I have to make a change on the slide because it's going to drive me nuts, because there was an extension to this program. So it initially ended in campaign 26. Now it ends in campaign 28, which takes us through January 3rd. So an extension of this program too, that will really allow you to maximize, something that Shannon said in her video. When she got to the final number of 56, she said, I won't tell you what this will do for your team, but I will tell you how this will help you earn Cancun. But let's talk for a second about what this will do for your team. Because when you maximize this opportunity of this enhanced allocation, you have this chance to grow exponentially. And while Shannon took you through a realistic approach, here's our favorite little stick figure image that tells you kind of how the program's designed to work. When you have a personal Q&R, we're giving you up to 5 people. And when you convert those 5 into a Q&R, you're going to get 2 and then 2 more and 2 more, and it's perpetual. This is certainly how network marketing explosion happens. And it's at your disposal. So to Shannon's point, I hope that you are seeking all the ways that you can maximize this to success. And I do think that when we look at the national reporting for this, we see that those people who have been allocated the most, it's due in part to them having more personal qualified new recruits. And now maybe a combination of personal and company source, but because those personal give you 5, it's really a massive opportunity. So I hope that you are really seeking all those ways to grow your team, maximizing this program.
Yeah, and if I could, I just want to touch base on that for a second. I think I already shared, this is my favorite program for all of you, the allocation program in Cancun. But, again, just, a soft reminder that, take a look at all of those bronze ambassadors on your team who are eligible and not eligible. Okay. If they participate in this, what if, I want to talk about possibilities for a moment. Okay. So number one, how many new representatives is that in rep count to the overall team by the end of the year? But for me, for you, more importantly, like what's in it for you? I want to talk about bronze leaders, because I know a few calls ago, we talked about, every bronze leader is worth about $357 every month, 178 a campaign. Okay. If you had 3 new bronze leaders, right? 178 times 3. I mean, that's another $500 and something dollars, and almost $600 in your check. Okay. 30 orders for a bronze ambassador, an additional 30 orders at $150 is already $4,500 in team sales. If she's getting an additional 50 orders at 150, she's already at $7,500 in team sales. What does that do for your business? What does that do for your life? The increased earnings in your paycheck every campaign. So if anything, I just, again, another gentle reminder, I want to bring it out in the forefront. I truly believe those leader bonuses are like gold, and it's money sitting on the table. Who is your next bronze leader? That's my question.
Rhetorical?
It's rhetorical, but I want everybody thinking, who's your next bronze leader? I mean, this is how we used to operate. And I don't want to assume that you're not operating that way. But I remember it would be a topic of conversation. I mean, it was always the conversation, who's your next star? Who's your next, you know what I mean? And I just want to make sure that we are thinking that way, because we see where title movement's at. But again, with this program, this could completely change the game for us, for you, really, not me.
So other programs that can change the game, we talked about this 2 weeks ago, but the reality is that we have a program to impact every core KPI, right? We have a program to impact your rep count on your team. That's the enhanced allocations. We have a program to support your order frequency. That's Avon Next and the blast through. We have a program to support your average order size. That's the blast through. And so as you think about when you segment your communication to your team, and as you're identifying your high potentials, as you're really looking at your reporting and working with your representatives and thinking about how each of these things kind of fits into each of those segments, because we have, to Shannon's points earlier, extended Avon Next. So Avon Next was, I guess it was always through campaign 2, so no extension there, but Avon Next is still in play. And Shannon already talked about how it's a continuity program that rewards that free shipping for our contenders and Premier. Contenders need that campaign order of 150, Premier 400. And that provides them free shipping for the next campaign. And imagine getting somebody on a roll for Avon Next and having them, especially the contenders who don't place those orders every campaign, but that Avon Next is designed to help them do just that. Great program. And then we have essentially extended the summer blast, but now we're calling it the blast through 2022. I probably shouldn't use the word extend because I don't want you to think this is kind of an extension of the old program. Essentially, we're resetting it. So summer blast ended in campaign 21 and the blast through 22 starts in campaign 22. So that means for bundle opportunities for this incentive, they're reset, and you'll have a new report that resets those goals. And this is for everybody. Everybody has a goal, a sales threshold that will allow them to achieve multiple levels of bundle opportunities up through the highest bundle opportunity, which can really give them a lot of great products to grow their business. And then for our new representatives, they have the opportunity throughout the course of the incentive timeframe, campaign 19 through 28, that will give them an extra 5% earnings when their orders in any given campaign are over $100. And how nice is that, that for those new representatives, that $100 goal aligns with your allocation goal. I love that. And then for our Premier representatives, they have the chance to earn an extra 10% every campaign when their sales are over $400. And when I think about the time frame, naturally, we generally have a lift of about 18 to 20% in our business in the fourth quarter, just because of the seasonality, the time of the year, the holiday selling, more customers ordering more things. So to get to these bonuses, to get to these extra 5 and 10% opportunities should by default kind of be easier. So again, it's how are you communicating this your team? What's the frequency of the communication that you use? How are you really targeting the right people to communicate with? Because again, there's kind of something for everybody here. So collectively, I think that's it as it relates to our programs. If you don't mind, Shannon, I'll just kind of roll into our advertising because this is something I've been working on for a while now, and I'm really, really excited about. So what you're seeing here is a list of markets that we're piloting television advertising on. Okay, so starting this past Monday, September 26th, and running for an entire month ending October 23rd, we're running a test of national advertising in select cities. So as you look at this list, you might think, oh, this is my area. Or maybe in many cases, it's probably not your area, but you might have team members in these areas. And here's why this is important. This is important because we want to really maximize this unique opportunity in these areas, because when we can show a lift in the business from this advertising pilot, what we foresee is us then reinvesting this money into more advertising into other cities. Full transparency, as we're testing this, we only chose a few markets. I think there's 8 markets listed here. And if you can tell, they're all kind of small to mid-sized markets. There's no major markets. We did that, again, full transparency, just for the sake of cost, since we're testing it. But here's where we need your help. We're going to send you this list. Maybe you've already been sent it, this list of cities, so that you have visibility to all the markets that are in this test. And again, the time frame, it's for a month. It started on Monday. It ends on October 23rd. I would definitely look at your team and see if you can identify team members in these areas. And we're asking you to deploy the troops, because here's what we know. We know that advertising, it kind of falls in line with the rules of Marketing 101. And Marketing 101 says that it takes about 8 touch points for a consumer to pull the trigger on a sale. And so that means as we're advertising nationally to consumers in these areas on these listed shows that you see here, that they're going to see Avon and be like, oh, Avon, they're still relevant. Let me check them out. But maybe they don't do anything the first time they see the ad. Maybe the second time they're like, oh, Avon again. But then what if they go out into their community and they see a brochure or a business card or a pop-up table somewhere? If they can see Avon, if the visibility is there, that exposure in their community, that's going to create those extra touch points that will help them maybe join the business or at least become a customer. So you can see this very, very unique opportunity that we have and why we need your support and really rallying your representatives in these areas to maximize this very unique opportunity. And to support them, we are, and we'll send this out to you guys, we have put together like a list of do's and don'ts. So of course we have our full on advertising policies on Avon U. It's a lot though. So we kind of extracted out the more important local advertising policies just to give you a list of some do's and some don't do's. For example, one of the first things that you and your team members will want to do, especially those in those areas, is they want to be sure that they have a Google business listing so that if somebody in their local area sees the ad and they go and they kind of Google, that business listing pops up. But a don't is Google advertising, right? So we wanted to be clear about what we can do and what we can't do. And we want you to encourage your team members to do these do's. But a lot of it is very feet on the street. And again, you guys know better than we do, but what can they do to canvass neighborhoods or businesses? Set up a temporary table like a flea market or a farmer's market or a pop-up event. How can they participate in different things like maybe with festivals or their local chamber of commerce? It's feet on the street. It's the thing that you guys wrote the book on. And so we hope that you will support your team members in this effort, because I don't know about you guys, I would love to have television advertising nationally so that people can see the power of Avon, that we're still very relevant and that we have some incredible new brands. The last thing I'll say, and then we're going to wrap this thing up, is for your reference, there's been a posting on Facebook, so maybe you've seen it, but if you're wanting to see the ad that we're running, you can find it on avon.com under the Manage Business tab, under Marketing. We have our shareable videos. Guys, if you haven't visited our shareable video portion of the website, you're missing out, because we have a ton of shareable videos, from product videos to recruiting videos, like in this case. And in this case, it's the recruiting video, and I think it's called, I don't know what it's called. It's the video that shows the lady at the beginning pressing the doorbell, like ding dong, your Avon lady, and then it takes her through to present day Avon. It's a great, great video. And heck, why not flood Facebook with this video, even if you're not in those areas, because you can share it directly from that shareable video gallery. You can share it via social, via email, via text, that along with the other videos in that gallery. So just for your awareness, I think it's a very, very exciting opportunity for us. Yeah, any questions?
Nope, I'm not seeing anything. I don't think
Okay.
I've missed any either.
Okay, good, good, good. Excellent. All right. So before we close it out, I have a favor to ask, but I know we don't have a lot of time. On a weekly basis, somebody from your AE team presents to our entire sales team, corporate sales team, something that we call a view from the field. And often what that is an AE presenting and saying, oh, here's kind of what's happening. I'm presenting this tomorrow to our team. And when I think about the view from the field, I think about you guys. And I think about, nobody can give the real view from the field the way that you can, because you're in the trenches, right? So I would just like to take truly just 5 minutes, because we're running out of time. I want just like 2 or 3 good things that are happening for you in the field right now. Would anybody be willing to share?
Okay, I said that I had a Google business listing. I got it a couple months ago, and I've had 17 new customers since then. So, and it's kind of
That is
making up
good news.
from when I miss hours from my part-time job. Avon's been actually making up for it.
That's incredible, Elizabeth. Congratulations.
So I'm
And a
really happy.
testament to why people in these areas that we're advertising in need to have their Google business listing set up.
And just to let you guys know, I have a disability, so I'm not able to get out that much. So I'm doing all this from the house.
Awesome.
Thank you. That's great.
Yeah.
Kelly, we do a lot, we have a wrapped car and we do a lot of events and stuff. And so we're out in the community doing those kinds of events. But I just wanted to say, I'm starting to see more people that have a better attitude about Avon. So I think whatever it is, maybe it's the La Creme or, you know, some of the new products they're bringing in, or maybe some of the TV stuff. But I think that it seems, maybe at the very beginning, but it seems that Avon's becoming more relevant.
That's interesting.
Mhm.
And I'm hoping that's a trend that will continue. It's just the beginnings of it, but I'm starting to see it.
Okay. Okay. That's great news.
Yeah.
What other good things are happening in your business as we kind of look at the view from the field? What's working? You know, like what's working for you right now? Roz wants to say something. Talk to us.
Hi, how are you?
Good.
Great. Well, actually, I have a friend that works at a kind of like a nursing home and everything, and he invited me because I play guitar to sing. And then when I finished, I said, no, they really love you. They want you to come back. And I told them I do Avon. I said, well, you know, we're having an event in October for like the harvest or Halloween. And they said, you could bring your Avon table. Like, really? I said, okay. So I'm going to set up there. And I just did the YMCA's in each part of town. It was senior health day for each of the Ys. And so that was a good thing. And I got to do each one of those YMCA's with surveys, and it was amazing. It was amazing. And I was doing my massages as well. So it was a win-win. So
Somebody just said in the chat that people are looking for us. We just have to make ourselves visible. And that's exactly what I hear that you're doing. You're finding ways to make yourself visible. And Lynn talked about that at length today on the A-list. So I certainly see a common theme here. I love this. What else? Give me one more thing. Because nothing good is happening in your business. I don't believe that.
What's working?
What's working?
All right, so being a member of your local chamber of commerce and showing up is the biggest thing, because the world belongs to those who show up. So just like we've showed up here today, we need to show up, not just have a membership, but show up. And so because of showing up, I am now the MC of a monthly Women's Business Connection. So I get to stand up in front of 80 to 100 women every month saying, my name's Mary Kaminska and I'm your Avon lady. And that has started to really gain traction and kind of, I heard it said a few minutes ago too, but getting into your local assisted living communities. We do pop-up, we do games with them, and it's been exploding.
That's huge. That's huge.
Mm-hmm.
So what's working in your team? I want to know, like, when you think about Cancun and the new ways and PC, and what's working in your team right now?
I wanted to say one thing about what you asked before. I also did a QR code through Vistaprint. I made a magnet for the car. And I had just the other day I was at yoga and they go, oh, wow, Avon. Oh, and she was young. She said, oh, I'm going to take a QR code. And I love Avon. So it was cool. And all it just said, your positive Avon lady, and the QR code and my phone number, you know? So I thought it was kind of cool. I just had somebody hit that. So I wanted to share that.
So they can scan you on the go.
On the go. Exactly. Oh,
Sounds dangerous, but I love it.
But it's to the Avon store. So.
Okay. It just sounds like a lot of people in your team are engaging more with you and engaging more with new people in the communities. You, if we're being honest, I don't know if it's COVID over, maybe it's never over, but COVID kind of like destroyed a lot of things, right? And I think just even that fundamental way of doing business, and as we slowly find our way back to that, I love to see that you and your teams are finding ways to traditionally engage, because of the one thing that we did well during COVID, I think that we became more digitally inclined. And so what a great opportunity for us to have that balance again, exactly how Lynn taught us to do on the A-list today. So I think that that's a great view from the field, and I appreciate you sharing that with me, you guys, so I can share it with our team. I think that sometimes, no surprise, people in corporate can become very siloed, and it's important for us to really understand, really like keeping our finger on the pulse of what's good for you and what's struggling for you. And so I appreciate you guys sharing that. And if you want to continue to share, if something comes to mind and you want to share it, we don't have the call until tomorrow afternoon. So we welcome your ideas. So shoot me or Shannon an email or get us on Messenger or however you can reach out, because we want to be sure we're representing you. So I just have one more slide as we close it out in this last minute here.
Kelly,
Yes.
this is Lynn. Before you do your last slide, because I'm sure you want to end on that. I was hoping, I just want to mention, and everybody on this call is probably a seasoned leader anyway, but there's a really upsurge right now of the scammers. And I just want everybody to be aware that their team members are new team members especially, are being approached by these guys. So just be aware of it, let your team know. And I'm not saying that, I don't want to end this on a bad note, but I think we need to be aware of it.
So Lynn, that came up on our previous call with Bob McCoy's group. And we had somebody send us the screenshot of the scam. It's a text, I guess. And so we're going to bubble that up. It sounds like it has been bubbled up, but we're going to ask for it to be put in the buzz and then see what our IT team can do. It's bizarre that they're getting the contact information of like something's happening there that we need to fix. So
yeah, some of them are getting people's cell phones. So I guess it's because it's in their profile, right, for their customers.
I had something like that happen yesterday. I had a person call me. They were basically phishing. And so that something similar happened to me yesterday.
Yeah, we appreciate you guys for bubbling those things up, because to your point, especially the new representatives who don't know, that's dangerous. Yeah.
I've had a couple that have asked me that have said, this seems kind of strange. And I'm like, I'm so glad you asked. Because I remember you go back 15 to 20 years ago, for those that have been around, I actually had a couple of team members that got screwed on that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Thousands of dollars.
Yeah, because they trusted somebody, and it's the same scam. It's still a certified check. It's way more than the amount. They want you to send the money back. It's the same scam. It's been around for 20 years, probably been around for a lot longer than that.
Yeah. They're just texting it now.
Yeah. All right. Thank you.
They're going digital.
Yeah. Does anybody know what this number represents?
90, what? No.
94 days till Christmas?
Ah!
Who said that?
Christmas.
Who's that?
Roz
is
close.
Very, very close. There's 94 days left in this year. And I think in the last call, they determined 13 Saturdays left.
Good grief, that's scary.
Y'all, it's gonna be October on Saturday. That's crazy.
Yeah.
But it's
wow.
where we're at. This year is flying. We are in fourth quarter. It's our holiday selling season. It's our most lucrative time of the year. It's the opportunity for you to really accelerate your business, but also for you to support your team in doing the same thing. It's crunch time for your goals. How far are you from wherever you wanted to end the year as it relates to Cancun or PRP or your leadership title? How do you need to kind of adjust to ensure that you make those goals happen or adapt? And then, like Shannon likes to say, and I love how she says this so frequently, do your behaviors match those goals? If you're striving for something, I'm going to pick on Lynn again, because she said it. She said, I want to get back to gold leader, but she also shared with us a lot of plans that she has. Her behaviors and her actions match what her goal is. Do yours? I know yours do, because you showed up today. Just like Mary Kaminska said, you got to show up. But how can you help your team members to show up? Because it starts with you, right? But you guys are leaders of sellers and leaders of leaders, and you're disseminating this information to them. And so as you are, and again, as you're kind of segmenting your communication and finding those opportunities to support them with the appropriate programs and incentives, how can they show up, and how can you support them in that? That's right, Ellen. We've got 94 days to get it together.
That's it. I love that.
But I will tell you this, and then I'm going to turn it to Shannon to close us out. It's crunch time, and this is the time to really focus and engage, but know that we're supporting you all along the way, but we're also looking ahead to next year. And as a matter of fact, we're going to be in New York next week for a few days, and we're starting to have conversations about how we make next year the best yet. Something that's on the agenda is, how do we have more fun? And maybe that sounds silly, but we want to have more fun. This business is fun, right? And so we're really looking forward to bringing some of those things back to you guys for sure, and setting you up for success. And know that part of those conversations are conversations on kickoff, which is they're really in the trenches of planning, convention, and Destination Avon 2023. So it's going to be a great year, but we've got to first close out this year strong in these last 94 days. So
Absolutely.
Shannon, close us
All
out.
right. Jessica, you had a question, hun?
All right, just real quick question. Are you able to share for kickoff, since we're so close, is it going to be gold leaders, silver leaders, bronze leaders and above?
We don't even know yet.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
So we're still waiting for info. We
Yeah.
all need info.
Yeah.
Yeah, so as soon as we find out, like we don't know location or anything, so
We do know what's in
tight.
January though. For your planning purposes, we do know it's not this year, that it's going to be the beginning of next
In
year.
January.
Yeah, because December is like in 2 weeks, basically.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's a good question.
Exactly. Okay, so with that, again, thank you all for showing up. I think Kelly kind of already closed us out. So I'm excited to see where we end the year. Look, we are your biggest cheerleaders. Put your goals in place. You've got the right activities. You got this, and as an old friend of mine used to say, the best is yet to come. All right,
Thank
everybody.
you guys. Thank you for another great meeting.
Yeah, thanks you
Awesome.
guys. Stay safe, Florida.
See you soon. Oh yeah, be safe.
Stay
Bye,
safe,
everybody.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye, Jessica. Bye, everybody.
Bye, guys.
Peace. And I like your necklace.
It's Avon.
Oh, really? Yeah.
Gotta get it. It's in the book.
I wanted to know. Sweet.
Thanks, guys. Bye. See ya.